into it. But basically, I just felt that he was always trying to up me or be defensive, or before I could even ask a question, it was, this is the answer. I'm like, but I just want. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Time. My name is Holly, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I'm not doing a reading, but I usually do readings on my channels, but today, twice a month, I do why I hate a specific zodiac sign and why I love a specific zodiac sign, and it often falls within that zodiac calendar. So I'm going to do the first zodiac of all the 12 zodiacs, and that's Aries. Aries season started, I believe, the 22nd of March, and it goes on to the 21st or the 20th of April, depending on where you are on the tropical latitude. And yeah, I love Aries season. Sun in Aries, I'll get into it. Sometimes can be difficult for me. When I was younger, I used to get along with Sun in Aries, but as I get older, and I'll explain to you why. So yeah, Sun in Aries is a fire sign. They are the mutable. No, they're not the mutable. They are the cardinal fire sign, which means that they can kind of they're consistent, which kind of can make them, which I find a lot about Aries, very stubborn, very, very stubborn, which is fine. But yeah, and Aries, the symbol for it is a ram, which is like a mini goat type with the horns. Yeah, so that's what I know about Aries in general. So why I hate Aries, and this is tongue-in-cheek, I am just roasting Aries as a sun sign. Even though there are many sun and Aries signs that I love, there are many Sun in Aries that I love. This is not to be taken seriously. I roast every Sun sign. I roasted mine. I roasted lots of people's. And the reason why I hate Aries, number one, is because Aries can be very controlling. And I was going to tell the story. But I used to have a friend, and this is one of my reasons I kind of distanced myself from her, is that she would be very bossy, and I don't really like being bossed around. I think, especially as adults, live your life, I live my life. As long as I'm not doing anything wrong, just let it be. You don't have authority over other people's lives. I can't stand that. So I wished her a Merry Christmas, right? And I know not everybody celebrates Merry Christmas. I grew up in South Africa and England. Everybody says Merry Christmas. It's not a big deal. If you don't agree with Merry Christmas, okay, that's it. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. So she just hearted it, and it was very unlike her, because I know she usually says thank you, whatever. She just hearted it. And I can't remember if she said thank you or not, but you can just tell when you're getting a cold vibe. And the next day she sent me Happy Kwanzaa, and I was just like, okay. That was an example of our friendship. I felt like she was always trying to one up me or passive aggressively tell me what I should know, which is very Aries. Sun and Aries, the shadow side, they can passive aggressively want to be better than other people, and it's exhausting sometimes. It's very exhausting. Why I hate Aries, number two, is that they can be very jealous people. So second example I'm going to give is, I used to have this stalker type woman, and long story short, she basically tried to copy me. I used to have an oil line, which I'm relaunching very soon, stay tuned. And she copied my oil line, she copied everything, and I started that oil line years before, I say 4 years before she did, so she cannot even try to tell me that she had always wanted to. She literally said to me one day, I want to be just like you. And I thought, that's so weird. She became a yoga teacher. I used to be a yoga teacher. She did all the things I've been doing for a long time. And I remember even one time when I was kind of cordial with her, I saw she tagged me in a an Instagram story that she did, and she'd just taken my yoga class, and she had said exactly what I said in the class, but she acted like it was hers, like she was uttering it. It was very creepy and very scary. And that's, I feel like sometimes Aries want to be number one at all costs, even if it means copying somebody else and being inauthentic. And I really, really don't like that. So what I hate about Aries number 3 is the constant need for attention sometimes. So I dated this guy who was an Aries, and it's actually one of the worst dating experiences I had. This was in 2016, and we met through Bumble. It's the only second time that I'd done a dating app. I don't really do dating apps. And in the beginning we got along. He was a gentleman. I kind of always felt like I was putting on a show, which has been my criticism with a lot of Aries in general, that they can come across like they're putting on a show and they want to say the right thing just because they think it's the right thing to say, and not actually mean it from their heart. So I got just this vibe that he was putting on, I don't want to say what his name is and so forth, but I remember he introduced himself to me, obviously through the app, as one name, and then one time when we were getting to the Uber, he used another name. So we're getting into the Uber, and I was like, that's weird that he uses 2 different names. And then when we got here, he was like, no, I use my second name sometimes. Before I even asked him anything, he said I use my second name sometimes. And I thought, okay, that's fine, I get that. So this may sound petty, but later on I found him, and this was an example of it, to be very defensive of certain, just very defensive. And I'm not going to really get into the whole relationship and everything. And I must admit, I did do some things wrong too that I learned from. And hopefully I've grown, knock on wood, from it. But because we're human, in every relationship, everybody, both parties are wrong to an extent, whether it's 10%, with 90%, 50-50. I do acknowledge that I was not my best self in that relationship. But I also got the sense, both things can be true. I could have acted in ways that were immature, and he could have acted in ways that were immature too. And I remember that one night, I don't want to get too much into it, but basically I just felt that he was always trying to up me or be defensive, or before I could even ask a question, it was, this is the answer. And I'm like, but I just want to be able to have a conversation. I want to be vulnerable. And I'm not going to be vulnerable with somebody that's always on the defense, if that makes any sense. So that's the other reason why I hate Aries. The last reason why I hate Aries is because I've touched on the competition side, the competitive side, but I also just feel like Aries sometimes will give advice, unsolicited advice, and this is an extension of that same friend, where she would just always, fire signs tend to do this too. Fire signs do this a lot. They just want to give you advice and just remedy the situation, and earth signs, I've noticed, do that too. But in general, a lot of fire signs, I've seen this in Aries, I've seen it in all fire signs, but we're talking about Aries, so I'm going to mention Aries. They don't allow people, I have a family member who's an Aries who does very good at this, because she's grown and healed. But a lot of Sun Aries I've seen are very quick to give you a solution when you just want to talk. You know, sometimes you just want to vent, and sometimes you just want to be like, okay, this is how I feel today. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be great. I don't have to have a solution. I just want to vent. And they take that as, oh, I need to give this person a solution, even though they didn't ask for it. It's like, I know what to do. Sometimes you know what to do, but you just want to vent. You just want somebody to hear you out, you know? And that's how you form relationships sometimes, is that you don't want to vent all the time, but you don't want to take action all the time. Sometimes you want to be in the middle and then take action, you know? So I just feel as though sometimes, a lot of the time when I vent to a lot of Aries, it's, okay, here's the answer. Oh, you need to do this. Or you need to do that. And I'm like, I know what I need to do. I just need somebody to listen. And that's what I found with a lot of Aries. And I feel as though Aries is a wonderful sign. I love that they're the first zodiac. It's springtime in the northern hemisphere where I live. But a lot of Aries just need to slow down. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be number one all the time. Sometimes you can just be you, be at peace with who you are, and not be on a race to be number one. I feel like a lot of Aries are in a race to be number one. And it takes the pressure off you, and it takes the pressure off of everyone around you. You just allow people to be themselves. So that's what I have for you guys. Next week I'll be back with why I love Aries, because I do have many reasons why I love Aries. But this is just my roast of the season. And I love you all. Please like the video. Please comment. Take care.